he's a touchdown maker in the playoffs. Do you know he scored a touchdown in all 3 of his playoff games?
I mean, he's so good.
2 last year and 1 this year.
He's so good.
Oh, yeah. So he is a revelation at the running back position. But we were on that we were on that when he was running wheel routes, and no one really had him on their fantasy team. We were all over this kid, and he is dynamite. And now he's going to be running for the Packers at home in an NFC Championship game against a stout Tampa Bay Buccaneer front. He is Aaron Jones, the Green Bay Packers. How are you, Aaron?
I'm doing great, and you?
I'm doing better for talking to you. How's life? How's everything?
I'm doing. Life's great, no complaints. I'm blessed and glad to be talking to you.
Well, I'm always appreciative of you calling in, and I kind of felt for you last week, Aaron, because you were the 3rd most talked about Aaron in that game. What gives? That's ridiculous. I don't like that. Of all the times to be named Aaron, that was the worst possible game. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. But, I mean, afterwards it wasn't too bad. Just leading up to it.
Well, that moment you were in the end zone, it wasn't too bad either. Did you? What was it like going against Aaron Donald? Was he frustrated? We saw he picked up a 15-yarder, and obviously he was very emotional as the Rams. It was obvious that time was running out on them. What was it like being in that mosh pit with him when he was out there, Aaron?
I think our offensive line did a great job of limiting him. I don't know if him not being 100% plays a role into that, but I'm proud of our guys up front. I had fun going out there competing. Anytime you get to go against the best, you see where you get to stack up at.
And it was fun for me watching the game and hearing actual fans in the stands. What was that like for this playoff game for you?
Man, it was amazing. All season we hadn't had really any fans in Lambeau. And then to come back out, and I think it might have been 8,000, 9,000 there, but they were so amped up, it sounded like 80,000. And I'm not making it up. I'm turning around looking like, what are these people hitting the stands with? Like they're literally banging something on the stand, and it's loud, rocking, and I loved it.
Well, yeah, I guess the sensation. You take it for granted all those years, and then you don't have it, right? And then all of a sudden, it's so beyond appreciated, Aaron.
Definitely. I think that's one of the things that was taken for granted the most, fans, and just how much of like an impact they can have. They help with momentum and so many more things, just bringing that extra little energy that you need.
And then obviously now you got the NFC Championship game 2 years in a row. And this time, however, it is at home, and that's got to make a big difference, I would imagine.
Yes, sir. We think it's an advantage being up here in Lambeau. It's the north. It's cold up here. We feel like not a lot of people want to come play up here. We're used to it. We live in it. We practice in it every day. So it's just you got to embrace it. It's a mentality living up here in the north.
Where'd you watch the Bucs Saints game, Aaron? Where'd you watch that one on Sunday?
I watched it at my house with my parents.
Okay. So did you do some scouting in a way when you started seeing that you knew you'd have to face either one of these defensive fronts? You do that?
I mean, I was kind of watching the game, scouting both sides,
Sure.
As they're playing, okay, I could be playing these guys or I could be playing these guys. So you're watching both defenses as they're playing, and then I think Kamara's a really good back, so you get to see how he did against their defense and see some of the things that helped him be successful.
So I guess, what do you do, Aaron Jones here of the Green Bay Packers on the Rich Eisen Show? Now, you had played both of these teams, so you knew it was going to be a rematch from a regular season contest, one in which you beat the Saints in week 3, and then another just right after that, getting absolutely boat raced out of the spot where you hope to return and play a Super Bowl in. What do you do with that film from that game against the Bucs this week, do you think? What do you do with that?
You take it, you learn from it, you look at tendencies, what personnels. You also look at how you started the game. I think we came out, we were up 10-0, so just look at how you can finish and continue to improve upon that 10-0 start.
Right. You were up in that game, and then all of a sudden the roof caved in. in Tampa. So what did your coach say after that game? What did LaFleur do with the tape of that week?
We watched it. You can't just throw everything out. You got to watch it. You got to be critical of yourself, but also have a short memory at the same time and know that, hey, this wasn't our standard of football. This wasn't our best, and hopefully we get to see this team again, and they will see our best football.
Yeah,
it just worked out like that.
And you did see Vita Vea on that day, and it looks like you're going to see him again. He's coming back from. Well, actually, no. He had gotten hurt the week before, so you're going to see him for the first time. I'm just seeing that. Well, how do you think that might change your degree of difficulty, Aaron?
Well, I think it always helps. Getting your main guys back, your starters, especially key defender and a D tackle. But we know it all starts up front with us, and we'll be ready to play. Aaron
Jones here on the Rich Eisen Show. Okay. Did I see? I don't know if you couldn't see because I think he was under center at the time. It looked like Aaron Rodgers was smiling as he's looking over the defense and calling plays. Did you see that?
I saw a picture of that on Twitter after.
You saw that, huh? He's just having a good time. What was he smiling?
That's a scary sight, let me tell
you. I can imagine that. Do we know what he was? Did you ask him? What was he smiling? Because he knew that the coverage was right, or he's just looking around and just being able to live in a moment of a big playoff game like that? What was that about? Can you tell?
I think that's when you check to something and you get the exact look you want or something like that. That grin is just like, I got you.
That is definitely a scary notion for the other side. What's he been like these last couple weeks from your perspective, Aaron?
He's just been a true leader, letting all the guys know, hey, got to make the most of our opportunities. This thing doesn't come around too often, so make the most of it. Play every down like as if it's your last. You never know when you go out there.
Well, I mean, if I had him on, he wouldn't talk about it. So I've got a big time teammate of his on. Can you give me an example of his leadership skills involving either you or a teammate of yours that he has just served with distinction in that role with the C on his chest, Aaron Jones?
Yeah. I mean, it's so many instances day after day. But I mean, it could be from somebody who's on practice squad and him just taking the time to, if they're in on a rep with him taking the time to, hey, this is how it's supposed to be ran, or this is how it's supposed to look, and he'll correct them, and then the next time they come out and they run it and they do it right, he gives them a little nod, or that little smile that and that gives you a sense of confidence. Like, hey, I'm gaining his trust. He knows that I'm understanding this, and he just wants to see you. And then at the end of the day,
right? And how about with you or with somebody who's usually in the huddle or something like that with him? How about that?
Well, I mean, my first interaction with him, I always say this. He told me, I'm one of your biggest fans in this organization, and you don't know what that can do for somebody, especially a rookie who hadn't taken a snap coming from a future Hall of Famer. That's just one of the many. I mean, in terms of us just sitting down on certain routes, hey, once you get to the fourth step, do this at the top of the route, and then give me your eyes. And so he's just, he's helping you evolve your game in every way, not just in certain places, but as a receiver in protection. He's how to read coverages, how to read where the blitz is coming, those kind of things. So he's improving everybody's game around him.
And how do you think he's going to do as a host of Jeopardy when he gets there, Aaron? What do you think about that?
I think he's going to do great. I think he's going to kill it.
Yeah,
I think he's going to.
I mean, what gives? Like, I'm not trying to become a quarterback. I mean, like, hosting is kind of like my territory. Will you let him know to back off? Would you do that for me? Like, I'm not.
I will.
Seriously, like, I'm not going to sit here and say, you know what? I'll give what Aaron Rodgers usually does a try. Like, I'm not asking. You know what I mean? Like, just tell him to stay in his lane if you don't mind. Aaron, would you mind doing that for me?
I got you.
Yeah, go up to him when you see him next. Say, hey, I was on the Rich Eisen Show. He was talking about hosting Jeopardy. Tell him to stay in his lane. Okay? Do that for me. Will you really do that, though, Aaron? Or are you just laughing and saying yes? Will you really do that?
No. I'm be like, hey, Rod, Rich told me to relay this message for you, and then I'm gonna let him know.
Yeah, right. Yeah, and let him know that I hear his footsteps, and I don't greatly appreciate that at all. You know, it's like he's smiling at the.
I'll probably take that as a compliment. The footsteps,
Okay, that's true. Yeah, you know what I mean. It's just, yeah. I don't run fast, Aaron, but I mean, at least I run fast when I host. You know what I mean? If hosting was running, I run a 4.4, and that's the way I'm coming out of the smoke. I get very competitive when it comes to that.
I think it's more like a 4.3.
God bless you.
You're a little bit lower than that.
I appreciate that. I'm a tremendous slouch. I understand what you're saying. So, LaFleur, how has the coach helped you in your game? You just told me how Aaron Rodgers told you X, Y, and Z and how it's improved you. But what about the coach who seems to get no run here for any coach of the year, even though there's back-to-back 13-3 seasons? What about Matt LaFleur?
Oh, yes,
for you,
sir. Coach LaFleur, he just really gave me a chance to show what I can do and turning me into the full-time starter. Before he came, I wasn't a full-time starter, splitting time. And then just, showing, as well as showing what you can do and running the ball, protecting, and then also as a receiver, gotten so many more opportunities as a receiver. And just to show that I'm a well-rounded back and that I can do everything. And just the opportunities that he brought.
Well, and again, just before I let you go here, you're a kid from Texas, right? And now you're up there in Wisconsin, and you're going to be playing in a big-time playoff game in Lambeau Field in the NFC Championship game. This is the stuff that's dreams come true. And you're a Pro Bowl runner of note in your own right. I say all that by asking you, if I had told you growing up that you could deny Tom Brady a victory in what's maybe for him the most important game of his career. I know he's won Super Bowls and they're all very important to him, but this one, to get to the Super Bowl at home, nobody's ever done that before, and to do it in his first year outside of New England, this is very particularly important to him, and you have the ability to prevent it with your play. If I had told that to that kid, what would you have said?
I would have believed you. I just wouldn't have maybe thought it was Tom Brady. I would have been like, who knows what quarterback is going to be? But I would have believed you. I believed in myself. Since I was a little kid, I told my parents I want to play in the NFL or NBA. I want to be a Super Bowl champion. I want to be a Pro Bowl. I want to be, all these things. So I believe if you think it and you believe it and you talk it into existence and manifest it, it'll happen.
I love it. Which NBA team? What was your position, Aaron? Point guard, shooting guard? What were you? What do you got for me?
I play point guard and shooting guard. Yes, sir. Play both.
Okay.
It didn't matter what team drafted me. I just wanted to play in the NBA.
And so, how did the NFL get you over the NBA? Did you noticed you had better skills at the oblong ball than the round one? Is that what you're saying, pretty much, or what?
A little bit of that. My size isn't the best for basketball.
Okay.
And then I was playing way more in once I got to college, I was playing way more in football than I was in basketball. And I looked at the numbers on the rosters, and I'm like, it's only 15 guys here, and it's 53, 63 over here. So I stand a better chance of making over here.
Math. Okay, but you could fill it up, is what you're saying, though, given an opportunity.
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Okay, so from three, I mean, what's your record for most threes in a game, then? Aaron Jones.
Most threes in a game, I think I've hit 5 in a game, 5 or 6.
All right. Is that why that your number is the way it is? There's threes all over the place. Is that what it is?
No, I prefer to attack the basket.
Okay. Oh, all right. Go to the rim.
A little physical.
I've noticed that. That's part of your game. You definitely go to the figurative rim in the NFL. I always love our chats, Aaron. Congrats again on another playoff victory for you and another NFC Championship game for you. Knocking on the door with Aaron Rodgers. This is a blessing in the NFL, and enjoy it. Good luck to you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. A huge blessing, and thank you for having me again.
Always. And again, what are you going to tell Aaron Rodgers when you see him later? What are you going to tell him?
I'm going to tell him that you hear his footsteps, back off. That's your lane.
Stay in your – yes, that's my lane.
Stay in your lane.
Stay in your lane, Aaron Rodgers. Okay? Please do that. Please do that.
Yes, sir. Okay. I got you.
You got it. Take care. That's Aaron Jones, everybody. Green Bay Packers Pro Bowl running back.
That's amazing.
Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.